every band's different. Every book of music for this band has a different point, a different meaning, and you don't want to wear out a book of music. Mm-hmm. So Carlos was looking through the files and thinking we could play older tunes, and then we were also thinking like, well, that doesn't really totally make sense to bring out all the old tunes we've already played. So what? Oh, right, we're improvisers. Yes, let's improvise more. Which is, it was never, quote unquote, as Carlos says, the philosophy of the band. Actually, this band never really had a philosophy. We've always just gone with the flow in terms of what does Carlos write and what makes the most sense. The last album we made, I think Frank and I discussed approaching it more like pop songs or something, and not trying to be jazz musicians on it, not trying to color everything in a certain way or improvise so much. So the one thing we hadn't done on this music was improvise a lot. So Carlos shuffled the book around, and it was just pretty much like whenever you feel like ripping it open, go. And so from the beginning, I had never done that with this band, and this band has been together technically for 23 years now. So we've never really done that before, and that's just like, it's kind of like giving birth in a weird way. Like, I mean, I know nothing about that either, but not physically, at least, as far as I know or remember. But that doing that with a band on stage, a band of friends and family that you know really well, it's like the first time. It was really wild. It felt pretty amazing. Like, we got off stage and it was just like, whoa, okay.
You did like the end of show cover of T for Two.
Yeah.
Yes, a cover. but was that a
cover?
That is a cover, and it's totally an interpretation.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Why?
But I was asking just because it was just so immediate to everyone, because it's such a standard, and I think everyone got it pretty fast.
To my mom.
Sure. Yes. Yes. Not standard. I mean, standard for standard. There are standards for go. Really.
Standard for standard's sake. Yes.
Exactly.
After you play a whole night of original music and then you do something like that, it risks being a little too cute or trite.
Sure.
And of course, people like it. But just because people like it doesn't mean you should do it. Uh-huh. That can become a real bad habit. There's a fine line between, like why you do something. Meanwhile, back in reality, it's a song, and that's a song that's meant to be sort of destroyed. Carlos plays that melody more or less the same every time, and we can frame it how we want. But last night, I think we had special permission to pour gasoline on the frame and set it on fire, which we pretty much did. Frank sounded awesome playing the street. Yeah, it was cool. It was good.
Yeah, because you let out some laughs. It was very visible to everyone.
It's silly as hell, yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Have you counted how many times you can hit the cymbal like in one swift movement? So apparently not.
No.
No, sure.
But if
someone will though.
I can easily no, I can't. And the only reason why, never mind. I don't carry drumsticks around with me all the time.
How many more? Come on. How many more do you have with you?
Many in the bag. What else is in here?
32
What's in Jim's bag?
What is in Jim's bag?
Gloves for winter that aren't necessary. And here, the lip balm that I didn't use, and Nutri brand Thyme chocolate, which is terrible. It's terrible. It's this thyme flavor, but it's like instead of like getting artful with the actual flavor of thyme, they pretty much ground it up with flax seeds. It's terrible.
It's literally out of time. So thank you very much.
Take it.
I have
it's
time.
A gift.
I got time now. What else is in your bag? So we'll just go along. I think that's an online thing, actually.
Oh, it's my latest CD.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a shameless plug for my own music. No, it was a gift I forgot to give somebody. There's time later. The plans for my next album. Wait. No, you don't want to read that. It's music paper, blank music paper and a little notebook. So basically, it's a book full of potential. Yeah. Notes, diagrams, music. I recorded a new album to be released on a new label that I can't talk about yet.
Oh.
It will mainly be high-resolution downloads, which is something you do have to pay money for to get.
Oh.
So it's not as easily downloadable from a Russian website.
Sure.
that I have to keep writing to tell them to take our albums off. No, there's still possibilities to sell musical product. People still like to pay for things.
Uh-huh.
The curiosity sale, at least in our market, means a lot. We don't sell that much product anyway compared to a superstar, so it's like every sale counts, and I think streaming has really hurt our scene. And yet people who are not so experienced with digital media and stuff think they need to represent in all markets, which is personally the kiss of death. As a label, you've just shot yourself in the foot. Yeah. You've basically given your sales away, including your profit. In order to make high-quality recordings, which cost money for studios, gear, high-quality microphones, people's time, engineering fees, tape, you name it. It's not cheap to make a great-sounding album. Not an okay-sounding album, a great-sounding album. Yeah. So you need to make the money back somehow. Yeah. And, anybody who knows about touring is not the answer. They like to think, like, people will say, well, you make so much money on tour now with your new popularity you gave away for free on Spotify, and that's a bunch of crap. Because everybody knows that a band will tour for nothing their first years just for promotion, at least in the rock world. That's not really where the money's made either. Mm-hmm. You deserve to be paid for the products you make, the products you invest to make. Mm-hmm. Just like if you were a farmer, you want to be paid for what you produce.
And you can't produce everything.
You can't produce everything, and you need more income. So this whole crowdfunding and all doesn't. Those are great ideas, and they sometimes work, but you cannot bank on that. You can bank on your fans to support what you do, keep them informed. You don't have to do backward somersaults for them on every album. Just release your music, and then have the decency as an adult to pay as much for the music as you would for a cocktail. Yeah, that's not asking that much.
True.
Really, come on, everyone, grow up. No one said you were entitled to free new music when it costs a fortune to produce. Yeah. Just be human about it. God, think. You're an adult. You can stream till you're 16, then get a job. Okay?